November 22nd, 2019 marks the more or less official start of this YouTube channel. I didn't really use it for much back then. I had dreams for what I could turn it into, but never executed on that dream until November the 22nd. One full rotation around the sun later, I've quit my job, begun a broadcasting career, made nearly 100 videos, grew multiple social accounts to heights I'd never seen, connected with people that I respect very highly, made some of my best friends in the world, attended the last LAN event the world saw before the pandemic, and saw my life completely change for the better. All because on November 22nd of last year, I posted a video about G2 dropping Goga to Reddit. And the rest is basically history. I don't want to make this too sappy or too long. It's probably going to end up being both, but at least I can say I tried making it not so. This year has been unexpected and life-changing for everybody. We're all feeling the effects of being stuck in our respective boxes and wondering when life will resume as normal. But if I was going to be stuck inside a box anyway, I wanted to make sure I would thrive inside that box. And I think that this past year is a pretty darn good representation of that. It's been one of the more insane years of my life. Right in between my freshman year of college and the year I decided this hairdo was a good idea. Yes, that's an actual picture. Don't believe me? Here's another one. Don't believe me? Here's another one. Don't believe me? Here's another one. I feel more complete right now than I did at this point last year. As hard as 2020 has been for a lot of people, myself included, I didn't really feel like I was a part of something 12 months ago. I definitely felt like I was searching for a purpose and didn't know where I wanted to apply myself, and this whole endeavor has given me a lot more drive and a lot more focus. When I first found CG Sports a couple of years ago, I knew that I wanted to get involved on a broadcast level. I looked at casters at desks at events and listened to how they tell stories and knew right then that I wanted to be a part of that ecosystem. I also wanted to provide something of value to Siege and have always striven to produce quality work and things that I hope are meaningful to the scene. Have I always been perfect? Nah. I've made more than my fair share of mistakes on Twitter. I really did suck at casting when I started doing it about 6 months ago, and I've alienated a lot of people with things that I've said, especially on my own platforms. It's absolutely not been the smoothest ride, but I've learned a lot of what I think is worthwhile to say and what I absolutely want to stray away from doing in the future. Through failure, I learned a lot about myself and who I want to be as a person. I decided pretty early on that I didn't always want to be a hot take machine like the Stephen A. Smith of Siege or something, and I wanted what I produced to be an extension of myself and not a character concocted for additional views and drama. I have a set of principles that I've followed to the letter since the day I started doing this, and I'm happy to say that most of what I've made thus far is something I'm really proud of. But ultimately, this was a journey I started so I could one day step into that broadcast talent role. That's always been the point. Doing YouTube was always about building a portfolio to get industry jobs. That's how I was offered the Challenger League job and how I eventually became a lead on that project, and it's how I got the chance to fill in on the main stream for the North American Major Qual and the Major itself earlier this month. We went from posting videos on Reddit to becoming a temporary Tier 1 analyst within 12 months of making content. That utterly floors me, dude. What the actual fuck? I thought this was going to take years to do. Not 1 year. Years with an S. Multiple. And I know that the only way that this happened was because all the majors were online, so there wasn't a crew specifically selected to go to LAN, and I was just asked to fill in on a temporary basis for somebody who couldn't make it. But, man, that has to be the most validating thing I've ever had. But all of this, the channel growth, the casting opportunities, the ability to quit my job to pursue this dream I thought was an impossibility, it all comes from you. From watching videos to joining Twitch streams and engaging on Twitter, to pledging your support on Patreon, subscribing on Twitch, or turning off your ad block on YouTube when we got the channel monetized over the summer. From saying you like my work to criticizing it and giving it honest feedback. From pro players encouraging me to work on this to casters who've networked with me and told me how I can improve. From the viewers who just know me by name to the dear friends that I've made in my time here. You've all had a hand in helping me continue on this journey. It's by your grace that I have made it this far, and it's through your encouragement that I plan on continuing this for as long as I possibly can. I thought about rattling off a list of names of specific people who've been a big help over the past year, but you know who you are. You know what you've done. You know what you mean to me and how much I appreciate you for standing by me. I don't deserve your friendship or your kindness, but you are the reason I've been able to get through this absolute hellscape of a year with some good things to show for it. Thank you. In ways I can't possibly express. Thank you. I knew this was going to get sappy. So, what's next up? I don't know if I'll be working a North American League desk again for a while, but I loved working with Jelly and Vessi. I can't even English. I loved working with Bellion and Jesse over those 2 weekends, and I would take the chance to work with them again in a heartbeat. I still want to improve as a caster and now as an analyst. I still want to keep building my Twitch stream, and I still want to keep producing content here. Both the stuff that's gotten us to this point and a couple of other ideas I haven't quite executed on yet. I'm still chock full of inspiration and want to make what we currently have even bigger and even better. Thank you for sticking with me and for believing in me and for changing my life. I love you very much, and I'll see you soon.